matches. Yes! Yes!
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at another request, and this one is Atari Games' 1980 game Shuuz, and it is a game of horseshoes. This was pretty rare, I guess, because it did not have a dedicated cabinet, but it is a trackball game of horseshoes. This was suggested by YouTube user Charlie Cat, and what you do is you use the trackball to move your character, and there are 4 different ones you can choose from. Joe, Al, Sid, or Lefty. You move them left or right, and then when you're ready to throw your horseshoe, you roll the trackball backwards towards you to increase your arm swing, and then you push forward on the trackball to throw the horseshoe. And you can play alternating turns with up to 4 players. There are multiple different modes of play. I'd never seen this in arcades. I'd never heard of it until MAME came around. I like this crossword puzzle motif for the credits. But you can play 1 player versus the computer, and in that mode, the first one to reach 15 points is the winner. You can play high score challenge, and you just try to get as many points as you can in 6 rounds. There's 2-player head-to-head, there's 3-player head-to-head, and then there's 4-player in which 2 teams take turns. And there's the 4 different characters. I like the first one, Joe. And this has funny redneck humor in it, and it takes place out in the country on a farm, and the players sit on either benches or bales of hay, or maybe a keg of beer or something, or a barrel. Now the scoring goes that if you get a ringer, which is when you get your horseshoe right around the stake, then you get 3 points. But if another player gets a ringer as well, then that will cancel out both ringers. And again, the ringer is 3 points. If you get it very close, like just about touching the stake, then you will get 1 point. Now, it took me a while to figure it out, but there is a way to get really, really good on this if you're playing in an emulator. And pick Joe and get his elbow just over the stake in front of you. And then pull back for, as far as you can. And then push forward as far as you can. And you'll get a ringer pretty much every time.
Player 1 scores 2 ringers and 6 points.
There's very little music in this game, and I kind of like it that way. I think that's how it should be in a game of horseshoes. There's just mostly just sound effects. Yeah, I can get a ringer just about every time as long as I have his elbow just over the stake. I need to be just a little touch over more. If you take too long, then the computer will force you to throw. they'll just automatically make you throw.
Player 1 scores 1 ringer and 4 points.
I guess there's a little bit of music there. Sometimes there will be things that go across the lawn, like a snake or maybe a pig or a chicken or something. But they won't get in the way of your throw. Don't worry.
Player 1 scores 2 ringers and 6 points.
And there I beat the computer. Once you know how to do the to get that ringer, the game is really quite easy. But again, I'm playing this in an emulator, so it's a lot easier, I'm sure, than in the arcade. The different characters will probably require a different strategy in order to get a ringer, because one of them's left-handed, and the others are of different bulk. So it's kind of harder to tell where you need to position them. And there's the official horseshoe rules right there. I used to have horseshoe stakes and horseshoes. We had that back when I lived with my folks. There's a chicken going across the lawn. Again, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your throw or anything. And here I'm doing the high score challenge, and this is...
Am I hot or what? Player 1 scores 2 ringers and 6 points.
And this is 6 rounds, so I'm trying to get the best score possible. And the best score possible would be, 36?
Am I hot or what?
There's some goofy, dumb redneck dialogue sometimes.
Player 1 scores 2 ringers and 6 points.
There's a different animation for a ringer. Sometimes you might be able to get it to spin around the stake, which looks pretty cool. There's a rabbit. But you might have to throw from a different angle. Even if you're like off center.
Player 1 scores 2 ringers and 6 points.
Even if you're standing off center, you'll still likely try to throw it. Your character will still likely try to throw it at the stake. And maybe throwing from an angle from, not quite center is what makes it spin around the stake. And we'll look at that animation a little bit later. Now we're going to try multiplayer, or 2-player head-to-head, or 3-player head-to-head. And again, if you play 4 players, there's no simultaneous play. If you play 4-player, then it's 2 teams. See, there it tells you how the different modes go. And the first player to 15 points in this mode is the winner. And you get to select the second player. A boxing type of card holder prances across the screen. There's a hot air balloon going by in the background. Again, this was just a conversion. This did not have its own dedicated cabinet. Yeah, you'll want to practice quite a bit and learn where to stand, how much power to give, perhaps, from which angle, in order to get the constant ringers. And in this mode, whoever has the worst throw, they will end up buying a beer for the other character.
Am I hot or what?
This game's okay. I'm not crazy about it, but I kind of dig what Atari was going for. Trying to capture dumb hick humor. Of course, you don't have to do full power on your swing. And here's the beer being bought for the winner. But that is Shuuz, and again we will look at the two teams of 2 for a 4-player, and we will see the other characters throw their horseshoes. Like I was saying, one of them is left-handed. It seems to me that I can figure out how to constantly get the ringers for player 1, and I think it might have been the player in yellow.
Am I hot or what?
Kind of wish he'd change his dialogue up a little bit. And here's the second player, known as Al. First player that I usually choose is Joe. But you get two horseshoe throws per player per round.
Team 1 scores 2 ringers and 6 points.
So that was our team, Joe and Al. And then the second team is Sid and Lefty. Sid, yeah, he's the other one that I could figure out how to throw the ringers with. Get his elbow like right over the stake in front of you when you throw. And this guy is the left-handed one, Lefty. That's why he's called Lefty. I couldn't quite figure out where to get him to throw from to get the ringer. He's got purple horseshoes.
2 ringers and 6 points.
Like in Lucky Charms. We'll scoot forward to the end of this.
Team 1 scores 2 ringers and 6 points.
So yeah, there's just six rounds in this. Sometimes it's which team or which player reaches 15 points first to win, and sometimes it's the best score after 6 rounds. There was 100% ringers. But yeah, it's much easier to play in emulation than arcade, I'm sure. I was never terribly good with trackball games. And there is a perfect trophy, for getting all ringers. And we'll look at, I think, some of the other animations. Maybe in a little bit. Oh yeah, there's the cool ringer animation.
1 ringer each.
Spins around the stake.
1 ringer and 3 points.
But again, you'll cancel out the other player's ringer if you get a ringer.
No!
Maybe I should throw harder.
No!
Think I need a bigger backswing. But that was Shuuz by Atari Games in 1990, barely released. This was suggested by YouTube user Charlie Cat. Well, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon with another video. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.